the city-bred SUV.
Well, started by Quinton de Kock and finished by Nicholas Pooran. The SuperGiants, after being put in at the Chinnaswamy, end up with almost the same score that RCB got in the last game here this tournament. 181 for 5. It's a score that KKR chased in quick time. So would RCB be the happier team at halftime after having made some changes in their lineup and, let's just say, bowling as well as the Chinnaswamy crowd might have seen at the death in recent times? This is Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Top Moody, Mitch McClenaghan, Varun Aaron to make sense of it all on whether we're seeing something very similar to what we saw in the last Chinnaswamy game, and all things considered on how that played out, who would be the happier team at halftime? Varun?
I think it's even Stevens because Lucknow have the bowling suited to this wicket. Naveen Haq bowls some really good slow balls. Kunal Pandya is going to be a handful. Ravi Bishnoi is going to be a handful. The advantage is that LSG they have two really good spinners. So I'm going to see how that plays out. That'll be fun. And plus, let's not forget the Rocket Man.
Okay, we'll talk about Rocket Man in a little while. Is it playing like the last game?
It's not sticking in the wicket as much. So if there's any dew around tonight, it's going to turn into a better wicket. I think LSG, from where they were, they got themselves into a little bit of trouble. But towards the back end, those last 2 overs from Nicholas Pooran definitely swung momentum in their favour.
Tom?
Yeah, I think it's probably about 8 below past score.
Of course.
But
Let's remind us again. 181, you said 189?
9.
210. You went 200 plus.
No.
I said 220.
Oh, you said 220.
I said 180.
Did
I
you?
was brave.
You're making things up now.
I swear.
Hard luck it wasn't.
They've got
We'll go watch
proper
it back.
records.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Tom?
It's in a cloud now. I think it's going to be a very interesting one because I don't think it's the easiest surface to bat on. Not saying that it's a sub 150 surface, but to me, it wasn't a stand and deliver type pitch. I thought Lucknow bowled poorly. Bangalore bowled poorly and allowed Quinton de Kock to play to his strengths. How much width he had was just ridiculous. Where you don't bowl to Quinton de Kock was a great display tonight. So I just thought that they bowled poorly. They didn't take advantage of the conditions. Unless dew comes in, I think it's going to be quite a competitive score. That
it's a weird game in some ways when you read the scorecard because the batters that got set in, Pooran, Quinton de Kock, even KL Rahul and Stoinis with quick 520s, everyone's striking between 140 and 190. You think, good batting surface. And you've yet ended up with 180 at the Chinnaswamy. You look at the bowling card and you've got Dayal 1 for 24 of his 4. Maxwell going at less than a run a ball, and yet you've got guys going at 10s, 11s, 12s.
But that's the point. That's why I'm sort of coming to that conclusion because I think they bowled well on that surface. I think others bowled poorly.
Okay.
And they paid the price.
Yesterday I was very impressive. I think he had an over there in the middle where they really started to swing the momentum back their way. I think there's a period where they scored 15 runs off 22 balls, and he was a key component of that. One of his overs went for 2, and his last over only went for 5.
Yeah.
So that was exceptional, really was. But you're right, at the end, it looked like the RCB bowlers took the surface out of play, which is what Yash Dayal had done so well through that period with Maxi.
I mean, Padikkal, Badoni and Stoinis are still struggling. They've been, they haven't been doing their best since the first game, and that's a pattern now for 3 games. So if you have to get big scores at the Chinnaswamy, I think everybody has to chip in. Even if they don't chip in, they're not like 6 off 11 balls because that does cause a dent. Even if he was run a ball, maybe the other batsman would have got more strike. Maybe there would have been more runs. So yeah, that's definitely an area they have to look into.
Siraj is an interesting one because he's obviously leader of this attack. He didn't take the new ball today. He's given to Topley and Yash Dayal. 1 for 47 after he's had an incredible season previously. But are we seeing the best of Siraj just yet?
Maybe he's not, like you said, he's not bowling where he was bowling really well last year, which he was opening the bowling last year. So suddenly when somebody is doing really well with the new rock, he's coming in 3rd, 4th over, that does change because the Kookaburra ball actually doesn't swing for really long nowadays. It's maximum 2 to 3 overs if the conditions are really good. So yeah, but it's also they've changed their bowlers and they've also got to accommodate the other guys. Siraj is a highly skilled bowler. He can also do the job coming in a little later. But that last over was what really spoilt his analysis.
Yeah, they took a call not to play Vaishak today. Looking at this surface, would he have been handy?
Not as handy as the other night. It's definitely not sticking as much. But he would have been handy enough. It's just how you fit him into that side. Yep, you could have left Dinesh out. But it looked like they've got a clear plan of stacking the batting. And trying to bat second.
It's nice to see Nicholas Pooran when he hits it. And we have to take that into account as well. And with every game, he perhaps reinforces his place as one of the greatest or one of the best 6 hitters of this time, of the present time.
Yeah, I think both he and Klaassen are in the grand final, aren't they? They're both exceptional. And they both do it with such ease as well. Obviously, got different methods. Nicholas Pooran's got, a very big backswing. He reminds me a lot of Yuvraj Singh with that big backswing and how he hits the ball so cleanly, where Klaassen's a little bit more compact with his swing, but incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Nightmare to bowl to both, I would imagine. The one thing that I will point out about Nicholas Pooran, I just think, again, they're wasting him. He only faced 21 balls today. And if we're having a conversation about one of, if not the best ball striker in the game now, to only face 21 balls, to me doesn't make sense.
You'd bat him at 4?
I definitely be batting him at 4.
So would you bat Stoinis below him?
Yeah, definitely. I'd definitely have Pooran at 4, unless you suddenly lose 2 quick ones in the power play.
It's about entry points, right?
You can make that slight adjustment. As soon as you're out of power play, Pooran.
Okay, so you're happy. It's entry points more than batting positions, isn't it? So the second wicket today, for example, Padikkal falls in the 9th over. So many teams like to withhold their finisher, power hitter. Is the 9th over too early for Pooran?
Oh, absolutely not. As soon as the power play is done, Nicholas Pooran should be out there, because you just don't know what he could get. He could have got 100 today. Because the ground, any ground, doesn't matter what ground it's not big enough.
Yeah. He got 62 of 19 in this very fixture this time last year. Incredible heist. We remember that RCB LSG game and got a few emotions charged towards the end of it. So that's how good he can be. But that was a game similar, second game of the season for RCB, and we saw 200 plus, chased comfortably. 2 games in a row now where the team has done well to get to 180, if I can say that. So is this a different Chinnaswamy surface than previous seasons?
Honestly, it just depends on the strip they give you. Because
are you surprised by what you're seeing?
I am a bit surprised because there's never been this much stoppage on the wicket, It's always been like, even if you bowl a really good slow ball, not every ball grips. Even the short slow balls, all of them were like having a lot of stoppage on them. So I would say that this is definitely a different Chinnaswamy, even though they've actually left some grass on the wicket today. That's funny.
It looks patchy.
Yeah.
On the screen it looks patchy, so therefore, as soon as you see that, you think it's going to be two-paced, and more often it is two-paced. Yeah. And you can at times at that venue, the wicket can be just a little bit tacky.
It can,
and therefore your slower balls hold in the wicket a little bit more, spinners come into play. So I think LSG, with the balance of their attack, they'll be going into this second half because confident.
Like when I used to play at Chinnaswamy, I mean, if the wicket was a bit tacky, my front foot used to slip a lot, and it used to happen all the time. Like I just needed a lot of sawdust to bowl there because it was always tacky and it's still tacky.
Need longer spikes.
Yeah, you don't get them in India.
Rookie.
Well, post.
She's a funny thing called mail.
Quick word on Reece Topley, who had 3 good overs and took a bit of a pounding towards the end. He finishes 1 for 39, where they took the call to play him out of Alzari Joseph. You saw enough for that call to remain for them to persist with that call?
I mean, they're going to persist with that call. The first over to Quinton de Kock wasn't up to standard in terms of what you'd expect from Reece Topley with how good he's been in the past. He gave width to Quinton de Kock early and allowed him to get off to a good start, a player who you can bog down early. And the back end, the last over, probably wasn't his best as well. But previous to that, he created a chance.
We should have got Pooran
a key
out.
chance
That's
to get Pooran
good
out.
point you bring up. Yeah, I forgot about
Got
that.
a
Very
great
good
back
ball.
of the hand.
2 of 3.
Yeah, very good slow back of the hand slow ball, which should have been taken,
taken.
particularly when your keeper gets to that. So that could have been the pivotal moment of the game if LSG win this tonight.
Yeah. Quick word on the Rocket Man now. Mayank Yadav, how do you see him going? Looking at what you've seen of the surface, he was used quite late in the last game against Punjab, only after the 10-over mark. Same plan today?
He's going to be rocks or diamonds tonight, I reckon. There's going to be moments of absolute brilliance, but there's a high chance that he's going to travel just because of the size of the ground. And when you get a tacky wicket, sometimes the more pace you have on the ball, the easier it is to score.
Yep.
So,
anything else on Mayank?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to get his lines right because RCB have some intelligent, experienced batsmen. They're not going to try and be silly and go against his pace. They're going to try and use his pace. So for tonight, the ground's really small. He has to get his lines right. That's going to be key.
The other Mayank of the day, Mayank Dagar, only bowled the 2 overs of left-arm spin, but Lucknow have already used their impact sub and brought in Manimaran Siddharth, who did take the new ball in the last game and will bowl some left-arm spin to start with. So the matchup is there against Kohli and Faf, and we saw it pretty easy for Narayan and Phil Salt when KKR were chasing 182. How does this play out now with what Lucknow were employing first up?
He's quite an interesting bowler. I only saw him for the first time the other day, and I was impressed. He's not looking to spin that new ball as much as he's trying to use the arm ball.
that's like Akil is saying.
Yeah, he is very similar to Akil Hussain. So I think it's a smart move, particularly against this pair in Faf and Kohli. It's a great matchup early on.
Maxwell bowled really well though. And does that tell us that there could be more spin that could come into play? Because RCB do not rely on spin in their bowling attack.
Yep, no, there's a high chance there'll be more spin. Well, there will be more spin from LSG. The positive thing from Maxwell's point of view and RCB's point of view is what you alluded to, Tom, earlier, that you've got to get Maxwell into the game, and with the bowling first, if Maxwell bowls and he bowls well, that'll get him into the game, as it does with all-rounders. So expect him to be explosive with the bat tonight, but the matchup I want to see Maxwell against is Mayank Yadav.
Yep.
I want to
Because he
see.
shies away from
We're
the
all
pace.
just oohing because we saw exactly that ball from M. Siddharth.
Yeah.
The one where he just
So all their
described
bowlers,
that.
they have 12 overs of spin, and none of their spin bowlers suit Maxwell. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Krunal Pandya does match up against him. Are the three of you happy with your predictions? I think quite a bit has been bang on today. We've had 3 sixes from Nicholas Pooran in an over. Mitch McClenaghan's
Almost
happy
had a
man.
double up.
Yeah.
That's 50 points.
Varun Aaron, Mayank Yadav's bouncer is still very much on the cards. And
messy.
Tom Moody came close, but KL Rahul managed to just go past that 10 ball.
Ball.
That is quick.
That is sorry.
We're enjoying watching M. Siddharth bowl here. Right, let's get prediction and let's call the game on how you think it plays out. From what you've seen, everyone's seen about 4 or 5 balls here. Varun?
I think RCB are going to lose this one.
Ooh, Lucknow to defend, okay.
Yes.
Mitch?
I think RCB they've stacked their batting, so I don't think they'll be short. I think they'll get over the line in 19.4.
Ooh, very good. Last over finish?
LSG.
Easy or close?
By 13 runs.
Okay, that's pretty comfortable when the game goes deep. All right, thank you very much. Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan, Varun Aaron. We pick up the chat at the end of this game. Promises to be a good one. Now, KKR made light work of a similar score, but RCB have the bowling. LSG have the bowling, and RCB have picked a team that just increases the depth of their batting. So we'll see you for post-match analysis on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Download the mobile app. If you haven't already, has you covered with everything that's happening from the world of cricket. Should be a good one this, and we can't wait to see where things stand at the end. Join us then.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.